Hi, I'm Libby. My husband's name is Julius. We've got two kids, Joshua and Jeremiah. We bought this house 2 years back. That's one of the biggest blessings that we had coming in this country after a lot of struggle. We had this event that happened in our lives which changed a lot of things. And all of this started in 2020, December 17th. I had COVID and I was the first one to get it. 15th, Julius had COVID, but it was just high temperature. On the 17th of December, Thursday in the morning, I ordered for some oximeter to make sure we check the blood oxygen levels. And I received it in the afternoon, the oximeter. And I had this prompt in me that I need to check Julius's oxygen levels, but I dismissed the fact because he was resting. But I again got the prompt like, no, I should go and check his blood oxygen levels. I checked his blood oxygen level and it was 70/40, I think. And I got very scared. And I called my sister-in-law, I called my mom, and checked it again. And we thought that, we thought that the machine is not working. We decided to call the 111. By 7 o'clock, the ambulance was here. And they went to check his blood oxygen levels. That was around, I think, 40 probably. And they on oxygen, on air, it was 60%. They said they have to take him to the hospital. By 7:30, I got a call from the hospital that they're going to intubate him and put him on ventilator. And by 7:30, that was the last time that he called me, and we spoke to him, and I said to him that, just stay strong, have faith, pray to God. God is going to deliver us. He's going to bring us out of this. And that's it. That was the last that we heard of him. And then in the night, me and my boys, we just sat here and we prayed. Joshua was very upset, he was crying. And we prayed, and then I took them upstairs. I was terrified because I have never ever lived alone. Never been alone in a house. I don't know much things. I literally depend a lot on Julius. So for me to be able to manage everything and my boys alone was a very scary thought. I was very numb. It was very painful. I was very angry with God as to why He would let this kind of an event happen in our lives. By end of December, we had this Thanksgiving prayer meeting by Sergeant Pastor, and I was joining and I was attending, and we had fasting as well. So by that 30th or 31st, I think, when nothing was happening, I just was so angry with God that I said, I'm not going to stop this fast here. I'm just going to continue fasting until Julius comes out of the hospital, and that is what I'm going to do. And I said to God, I am diabetic and I have two little children. You've already sent my husband to hospital. You just have to make sure that I don't go to hospital because there's nobody to look after my kids. So I'm going to fast and pray, and you're going to make sure that I'm fine so that my children are, they are safe and I'm able to look after them. Then one night I was very much overwhelmed. I wanted to pray, but the words wouldn't come out. I just couldn't pray as I wanted to. And then I called Pastor the very next day in the morning, and I said, Pastor, I can't pray and I need to pray. I'm just so full. My heart is full, but the words are not, I can't bring the words out. And then Pastor spoke to me and he strengthened me. And I think me and Pastor, I just literally walked up and down in this room, praying, singing, and praying in tongues. And then one night, during all of the situations that was happening, it was very difficult for me to generally go to bed because night seemed to be the most hardest of the time for me. And I'm sleeping and I heard Joshua telling me, "Mom, there is a change, there's this season change." And I am thinking, why is this guy talking to me in the middle of the night? And I turn around, but he's sleeping. And I felt a very hot, warm touch on my hand. And I know his touch. So I know when that hand touched me, I was like, how come Julius is here how come he's here? And I just got up and I froze basically. And I just looked around and I could feel the heat in my arm. And I looked to see if there was a burn or something, but there was nothing. And I just got there was no fear, but the feeling of the hand, it just stunned me. And I was really scared as to why would I see a dream wherein, I felt Julius's hand touching me. And I called my mom, and I think in India it would be around very early in the morning. And then I called Susan auntie and I said, "Auntie, I felt like this." And she said, "Don't worry, it's just God reassuring that he's fine and he's going to come home." And that gave me a lot of strength. Then on the third week of January, the hospital called me back again, telling me that he has a tracheal tear and they don't think he's going to make it. It might just bleed and he'll just die. And I said, just do what you're doing. He is going to be fine. He's going to come home. It's going to be healed. Then we all were praying. And Mini Chechi was one person who was constantly in there, who was praying with us. And not in the picture, but behind the scenes. She was there in the hospital. She was the first one to see Julius. So she was doing everything in there. And then I called him and then I asked Jane, Chechi, why? Why is this happening? Why is there no solution? Why am I I just got so tired. I'm like, God, if this is what you want to take him, just take him, Why am I suffering? Why is this pain there? Why my kids have to go through this? Every time I would see people with their children, fathers with their children, it was very painful. Just the thought that maybe my children would not get that love. What if they are denied? What if I don't get my husband back? It was very scary. So I was asking Chechi, why? Chechi was like, Libby, don't worry. God takes his children, one he loves, through all these phases. But I said to Chechi, whatever you're reading in Bible, Elisha, Moses, and everyone else, they are so much of godly people. I'm nothing. I've done so much of mistakes. I've done so much of sin. How am I going to be even, justifiable? How can I stand in there? And that is the day when Chechi said, don't worry, God will do everything. I was not satisfied. Afternoon, we had a prayer at 3. Pastor's brother, cousin came and he spoke to us, wherein Elisha he's tired and he's scared now because Jezebel has scared him. She has sent a word to him that she's going to kill him because of all the Baal prophets that he's killed. And he has lost hope. Even though he was a man of God, a strong prophet, he had lost hope and he was hiding. So how God sustained him and how all the threats that he thought was so great in his life, God just dismissed it. So that word then gave me the strength. I got the final call on the last time. The call that came in was the first week of February. All through this period of time, I was fasting. Julius was COVID positive. Not any one given day. I think every Monday they would do COVID test for him, but it was always positive. So this last call that they did was on a Sunday to me, and they said to me that they did an X-ray, CT scan again. He's again got this infection, and he's got pulmonary embolism. He's got multi-organ failure, and because obviously everything that is going on with him, they have tried everything, and they do not think that he'll make it. There's anything more that they can do for him. And then the doctor said to me that, would you want to come and see him? And that was very hard because I'm never expecting that kind of a call. And I've always prayed that, God, please do not let me go through that call ever again. Ever. Not again, ever. because I'm not sure if we can take that. So on February, the first Sunday that we got the call, they said to me that he will make it. I was very, very scared. I called my mom and I said to her that, God has left me. God has just left me. And my dad, he was so strong all through that time. He just broke. He was crying. But my mom, she had a very firm all through the times whenever she would talk to me. I can hear the fear, the cry that she is in, the pain that is there. But that particular time, and she told me, no, he will be back. She was very firm, She said, Illa, Devam Vittilla. No, God has not left you. God has not given up on you. He will come back. So next day morning, I'm like, if you really want me to go, God, it is you. Please make sure that they give me the call from hospital. I don't call them. And the nurse called me at 9 o'clock in the morning from the hospital, and she said, you spoke to the doctors, and would you want to come and visit him anytime during this week? And I said, can I come today? And that was a Monday. She said, yes, you can. So we arranged for a time, and Pastor wanted to come, obviously. So Pastor, me, my brother, 3 of us went to Westminster. And that walk to the Westminster Bridge was the most hardest walk, because I didn't know what would happen. But also, during every step that I took, I was just praying in tongues. I was just praying that, God, give me the strength. Let not them say anything that is not wanted, anything that is negative, but let us be able to say the right things. So we went there, met the IT consultant. He had a junior consultant, and they had a chaplain. And I asked him, why do you need a chaplain? He said, it's just for us to be, kind of support. And I said, I have my pastor with me. But anyways, Liju said it is because they want to discuss palliative care. I just get dismissed and cancelled the idea. And then the doctor sat in front of me, and I was sitting on the other side with my brother, and he was sitting in front of me, and he said, the first issue is obviously his tracheal tear, which is there, and because it can't be healed. And it was so sudden that I just said to him, it is going to heal. And the man looked at me, and he's like, no. I said, yes, it will heal. My God will heal it. So he said, I said, I know that I've spoken to Dr. Desai and she has confirmed it, but I still know that my God will heal it. So he didn't further pursue that discussion. He said the second matter is obviously his lungs, which are still recovering, and everything that is going on with it. I said, see, all I want to tell you is my husband will come out of it. He will get healed. You should not stop the treatment. And I also told him about one pastor, Benjamin, who we heard testimony. I said to the doctor, that pastor is around 60s. He's in his late 60s. And he was on ventilator for 100 days. And he came out. If he can come out, my husband will come out. My God will do it. All of our church, every single member of my family, everyone I know, we are praying for him. So our God answers. He will come out. And he said, okay. I said, just don't stop the treatment. So me, our pastor, and then Liju, we went. They had a big area, communal area, I think, where the staff sits for break and all. We three stood there, and we lifted our hands up, and we thanked God. We prayed in tongues. We thanked God for the miracles, for the great thing that He's going to do there. And we walked out with a lot of confidence. And during that time when we were in there, the prayer was going on in the church, And I have to say, when Pastor Sunil Tangachan was the one who was praying, and he said, this is the beginning of birth pangs. That, when the end result comes, when you have a delivery going on, the end result is the baby. You forget all the pain. The end result is coming. So all that pain that we're going through, it is going to come to an end. And we also, that was the time when we prayed, and we heard the word that Paul and Silas were in the jail. No, Peter was in the jail, and how the gates were opened, isn't it? The gates were opened, and how the church was praying. Every time they were in the jail, the church was praying. When they came to the door, the church was still praying. So that is something we still use. We prayed with that word. So finally, when we returned home the next day morning, I got a call from the hospital. When I called them to know updates about Julius, they told me that he's COVID negative. For the first time in 77 days, he was COVID negative. They were waiting for 3 COVID tests that should be negative. And every time that they did, he was COVID negative. And they told me that he would have psychiatric mental health issues. They told me he will come back with a tracheostomy for 6 months. They told me he would not be able to eat for 5-6 months. It's just pure liquid or puree that he would have. And it is going to be a hard road of recovery. The word, hard road of recovery. But God has been wonderful. I finished my fasting on the 99th day. That was on the Easter. And when he was in actually rehab that time. That is when I finished my fasting, and he came back home on the 23rd of April. So on 23rd April, that's when he was actually discharged from hospital. And it was meant to be complex discharge, but he came. They were saying that he will use a wheelchair, and he wouldn't be able to walk a lot. And but when he walked in, they did bring him on the wheelchair until the door, but he walked in. But he walked in, and then obviously we all were happy. We all praised God for what God has done in our lives.
It's all glory to God, I can say that. And He has worked wonders in our family as well. And after coming back home in a week's time, I came to know about my brother as well, my cousin. But I feel like God was strengthening me as well, and I felt sad, but I was not able to take it. But God controlled me and gave me strength to overcome that as well. And there are amazing things, and every day is a testimony, I can say, for us. So hopefully this will strengthen us, the people who listen to it, and definitely make people strong and believe in God more stronger and stronger.
I hope this testimony gives you strength and gives you faith that our God is able. This was just for us to know the love of Christ, and hope this testimony gives you hope, gives you the strength, gives you the feeling that when you pray, our God answers. When you call upon Him, He will answer you. He will deliver you in the days of trouble. God bless.